I'm here today to talk about something more than just potential. I'm here to present a proven, de-risked investment opportunity. Here at the Agri-Business Incubation Center, we've built a model that turns scientific breakthroughs into real, sustainable wealth. And I want to show you exactly how it works. Let's start with a number, 3,500 crores. So what is that? Well, that's the value of India's fresh banana export market every single year. It's an incredible opportunity, right? But the thing is, we haven't just spotted this opportunity, we've actually unlocked it. We have the system in place right now to capture a significant piece of that pie. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the huge global opportunity in bananas. Then I'll show you the proven technology we've developed. We'll look at how we take that tech from the lab and turn it into real livelihoods for people. Of course, we'll get into the numbers, the real economic impact. We'll also touch on the solid science that backs all of this up. And finally, we'll talk about how we can partner up to take this whole thing global.
All right, so let's jump right in. The global banana opportunity. Now, what's really important to understand here is that we're not trying to invent a market out of thin air. No. This is about strategically tapping into a huge, already existing global demand, but doing it with way better technology.
I mean, just look at the scale we're talking about. Over 700,000 metric tons shipped out every single year. That makes the banana, without a doubt, the #1 fresh fruit export for India. And when you have that kind of volume, well, that's the perfect environment for a technological intervention that can create massive returns. We're talking returns for investors, sure, but also a huge boost for the national economy through foreign exchange.
Okay, so you see this massive market. The big question is, how do you actually capture it? Well, this isn't something we came up with overnight. This is the result of 26 years of dedicated work, led by our principal scientist, Dr. Shiva K. He developed what I can only describe as a brilliant two-pronged strategy. It's designed to dominate the entire value chain.
And this is where our approach is so unique. It's a two-part strategy. On one hand, you have our C protocol for fresh exports. Think of this as our high-volume global powerhouse. It's all about logistics, getting huge quantities of fresh bananas to high-value markets like the UK, Italy, and Germany. This brings in large-scale foreign currency. But then, on the other hand, we have our secret weapon, 35 different value-added products. This is our high-margin local empowerment engine. Instead of just selling the fruit, we're creating things like banana flour, which, by the way, sells for 5 times the price of the raw fruit, or even textiles from banana fiber. This side of the strategy doesn't just diversify our revenue, it builds a resilient ecosystem of local startups and entrepreneurs. Look, any lab can create a cool piece of technology, but for us, that's not the goal. The real measure of success, the only thing that really matters, is whether that technology can create a successful business and improve someone's life. It's all about taking it from the lab to a real livelihood. And we've done it. Just look at this number, over 200. That's how many successful entrepreneurs we've created. And let me be clear, these aren't just people who took a course. These are business owners. We've seen so many of them get a 5-fold return on their initial investment, often within just the first couple of years. They're building real, sustainable companies based on the technologies we've given them. It's an incredible success story. So you're probably wondering, how do we make sure they succeed? It's not luck. It's a very deliberate 4-step process. First, we do an in-depth technology transfer. We show them everything. Step 2 is hands-on training. They literally get their hands dirty learning how to make these high-value products. But we don't just stop there. Step 3 is full business incubation. We help them with business plans, navigating all the red tape, the whole 9 yards. And maybe the most important part, Step 4, market linkage. We don't just teach them to make a great product, we connect them to the people who are going to buy it. It's an end-to-end support system. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about the economic impact, the real, quantifiable return on this investment, because at the end of the day, the numbers have to work. And this is where you can really see that multiplier effect in action. We conducted over 100 training programs. That directly led to those 200-plus entrepreneurs we just talked about. And they are the ones who took our 35 value-added product technologies to market. Every single one of those entrepreneurs becomes a little economic engine in their own community. They're creating jobs, generating wealth. It's a ripple effect that goes way beyond our initial program. So you have that incredible local impact, right? Now combine that with the other side of our strategy, the big picture export protocols. Our work, our research, our logistics, it is the foundation supporting that massive 3,500 crore fresh banana export market. So what you're looking at is not just a successful local program, it's a model that is a major contributor to the national economy.
Now, in operation, this successful doesn't just happen by chance. Absolutely not. It is built on a solid foundation of rigorous, world-class science. We're talking about more than 26 years of dedicated research.
And that pathway has been incredibly methodical. It didn't start with a product. It started with fundamental research into post-harvest physiology. Understanding the science first. From that foundation, we developed novel storage and processing technologies. Then, and this is key, we took them out of the lab and ran exhaustive industry trials to prove they worked in the real world. That whole rigorous process, from basic science to commercial application, is what led to us being recognized with the prestigious CII Cold Storage Award. It was the industry itself saying, yes, this works. And that rigor, that credibility, isn't just something we claim. It's been validated again and again by the global scientific community. We have over 75 research articles published in top-tier peer-reviewed journals. The proof is right there. On top of that, we've literally written the book on the subject. 3 of them, in fact. This isn't just about our own work. It's about codifying that knowledge and contributing to the entire field of horticultural science.
So when you look at all these awards and recognitions, from industry groups like the CII to academic societies, what you're seeing is powerful third-party proof. Each one of these confirms the quality, the excellence, and the real-world impact of what we do.
All right, so let's recap. We've proven the science. We've shown the incredible economic impact. We've perfected the model. So what's next? Well, the next logical step is to replicate this success. It's time to take the tricky model global. Everything we do comes back to our core mission, turning scientific innovation into real, sustainable economic opportunities for everyone in the value chain. Farmers, exporters, entrepreneurs. That's our why. It's what has allowed us to create this blueprint, and it's this exact blueprint that we believe is ready for the world stage. And that really brings us to the core question here today. How do we take this proven success and replicate it on a global scale? I see this as both a challenge and, frankly, an enormous opportunity. The model is validated. It works. The job now is to partner up and apply this blueprint to new markets around the world, creating value and empowering communities wherever we go. Look, we've built the engine. We have proven beyond a doubt that it works. Now we're looking for the right partners to help us add the fuel for global growth. I invite you to join us. Let's cultivate the future together and scale this impactful model into a global legacy of innovation and prosperity.